Now, I know it's been a minute since I've done a knife review, so I thought a really good one to do would be this latest release from CIVIVI, the Hooligan. But you're going to want to stick around until the end, because there is one like really weird issue I've never experienced before, and you gotta see it. So let's do this. Hey, how you doing? My name is Jay. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel, and consider clicking on subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews. Yeah, they get right to the point, just like that. Right about now, you should be looking at some specs, and these are measurements that I did take myself, but I'll also list them for you down in the description below, just in case if you want to follow along throughout this review. Let's go ahead and take care of the size comparisons, just so you can get a good idea of what we're working with today, and we'll start out with the full-size Griptilian, and then of course the Paramilitary 2. But as you can see, the Hooligan it's closer in size to the babies. Yeah, the Mini Grip and the Para 3. So as we just established, this is, a pretty small knife. It's a 3-inch blade with a 4-inch handle, which really, it's a pretty good blade to handle ratio. And usually a 4-inch handle it's usually plenty, for my medium-sized hands. But as you can see with these, there's like 3 finger grooves, and what those do is they kind of separate my fingers more than I usually do. So the end result is going to be, well, I can just barely fit my pinky finger on the handle here. And this would be fine for, a smaller knife if it had a usable forward finger choil, and not a giant sharpening choil like this does. I really like this Micarta scales, even though they're just a tad smooth. So this Giant Mouse Ace Biblio, okay, it uses the same handle material, the Micarta, but the Biblio has slightly better traction than the Hooligan does. And how about that blade shape? Look at that. I love it. Such a nice, wide profile on this drop point. All right, so notice, got the good old cutting board out. Yep, it's party time. Let's see how well this 3mm thick blade with a really nice hollow grind. Let's see how well she slices. Whoa. Yeah, she slices very well. This blade is riding on bronze washers, which I really like on my hard use knives, which the Hooligan definitely is not. So not that it's a huge deal, but a ball bearing pivot really, yeah, it really would have been nice, because as you can see, this is definitely not a drop shutter, nor will it ever be. And the detent on mine, it's definitely, you can see it's strong enough, so I can't shake this blade loose, but the opening action, did you see that? That was just a fail. The opening action, it isn't the best. So this does slow roll open nicely, but the detent, it's just a little bit too weak for me to pop that blade open every time. It's not a good flicker. I really have to position my thumb just so, and then even still sometimes I have to give it a little bit of wrist. I do, however, I really like how far out that these thumb studs are positioned, because a lot of times, especially for us lefties, the thumb stud can sometimes be difficult to get at because of how close it is to the scale, but you can see that is definitely not a problem here. Regardless of which hand you use to deploy the blade, you do have plenty of room. CIVIVI's using their standard deep carry clip, but except this time, bam! Yep, we do get some lefty love. Hopefully you can see this now, but if you look really close, you can, the centering on mine it's almost perfect. And they went ahead, if you take a look on the inside, yeah, they skeletonized the heck out of this knife, in an effort to keep that weight down. Let's see how they did. Wow, they did really good. 3.3 ounces, which is going to be roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 AA batteries, or look at that, same weight as the good old Para 3. It's almost as if, like, CIVIVI, if they started when they started making this, they were going to do it as a flipper, but then it's like they changed their mind like halfway through at the last minute, because pictures of this knife make it look like there is a flipper tab. I mean, you can even see a little bit of a flipper tab. You see that, like when it's in the quarter closed position. Don't get me wrong now, because thumb studs only, that's perfectly fine, but why have a finger guard that is this size? I mean, all that does is it makes it look like there's a flipper. It gives us less usable sharpened edge that's going to make contact when cutting on a flat surface, and on top of that, it's because it's wider in the pocket. The only reason I can think of why they did this is just so the pivot screw could be moved over slightly, and then you're unable to touch that the edge of the blade when it's in the closed position. At first glance, it looks like that this pivot screw, just like all the other CIVIVI knives, it looks like the pivot screw is captured, but in reality, it is not. Let me show you. Now I brought you in really close because this is where stuff starts to kind of get weird. So take the Wyvern for example. Okay, I take my T8 and unscrew the pivot, and then you can see, the threaded side is the side that's actually keyed for the Torx bit, as it should be. On the Hooligan, the side that you should be able to unscrew, this is really weird, is on the show side. Yeah, look at that. And so as you can see, it's obviously not keyed for the Torx driver. This is the part that you unscrew. And so I find myself, I have to really push hard. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work to make sure that this does not spin. This absolutely, it has to be a mistake. But I would love to hear from those of you that have the Hooligan. I mean, is the pivot on yours, is it the same way? Let me know down in the comment section below. So needless to say, these issues, they're kind of frustrating because I really like the overall design. But you know what, if that stuff, if those things are not deal breakers for you, then absolutely get this, because $54 it's a great price for a D2 blade with micarta scales. I mean, again, take the Biblio. I mean, except for the M390 blade steel and titanium pocket clip, I mean, you're looking at very similar materials. And you know what? Now that I have it out again, the size too, and this sells for what, like $175? So comparing the Hooligan to the Biblio, it really shows that CIVIVI was able to just fit a ton of blade into this handle. If you enjoyed this video and you got any value from it, do me a favor and let me know by just leaving one of these. And don't forget to click on subscribe. Hey, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. You guys take care. See ya.